like everything on this thing is busted. Okay folks, welcome back to Random Rod Shop. In the last video, we got the tailgate sort of mounted on, and we got the steering column, the steering shaft mounted. We're still working on the tailgate. In the last video, I said I was going to grab a porta power because over time, you know, this thing's an old farm truck. We hauled all kinds of stuff in it. The bed sides have kind of come together on it. And I said, you know, I'm going to put a porta power up there, but, you know, not everybody has a porta power, so I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? And in the end, this is an easier method. So I cut a 2x4 that was 65 inches long, which is how far it is from here to there. And we're going to shove this 2x4 up against this top edge. And we're going to make sure it's 65 inches. Then we're going to shut the tailgate and see if it actually works. All right, so follow with me here. Okay, what I think I need to do is I need to adjust those hinges a little bit out this way. Because right now, it looks like the bed is contacting this. And it looks like they're not quite level. All right, let me go get some wrenches and some tools, and I'll get back to you. All right, let's see what we can do. Okay. I was kind of concerned there for a minute. Let's see what's going on here. That side of the bed is that side of the bed's a ½ inch too low. Okay. Well, we're going to have to figure that out. We need that side of the bed back up because this side needs to go down to make sure the top is flush up here and that the bottom, you know, the body line at the bottom lines up. That side's got to go up. All right, let me get some let me get some jacks and let's see what we can do with this thing. I'm going to go ahead and lower this side and try to get this lined up. And then we'll put some jacks under that side and see if we can raise it up. Like everything on this thing is busted. The bed anyway, the cab and the front end are okay. But we use this truck, kind of work the piss out of it. Okay, let me gather some stuff up and I'll get back to you. Okay, I tried to put a jack underneath the corner, but there appears to be a corner brace that is spot welded in multiple places that ties the horizontal section of the rear of the bed to the corner of the bed. So I'm going to have to get the corner brace out before I can move this thing a little bit. It also appears that either me or my dad at some point in the past welded the crack together and we overlap, and we didn't actually get it straight, we just welded it back together. So I'm going to have to cut that weld that's in behind that mess that you see right there, and I'm going to have to get that corner brace out. I've kind of highlighted where the spot welds are. You can see the black dots. Oh, trying to stay out of the sun here. So you can see the black dots. Yeah, that's kind of in the shade, but there's 3 more spot welds in here, and then there's 3 spot welds up underneath there. So I'm going to cut those out, and we'll get that brace out of there, and I'll get back to you, and we'll see if this thing's going to actually move. Okay, well, we're back. Ended up cutting a whole lot more than I thought I was going to have to cut. I thought I could just, jack up this side of the bed and kind of straighten it out. No. So here's the brace that was in the corner, and this was spot welded on top of it. Let's see here. Yeah, that was spot welded on top of it. At some point there was enough mud. There was enough mud to, pile up in there and rust the brace out and rust the front corner out. This brace fits up in here like so. This piece went here, and I've got some various pieces. Here's the one that went here, and this is where part of the problem was. This was welded to the bed frame, and it was overlapped, so it was holding this corner of the bed down. But all in all, it was just busted. Man, everything is busted on the back of this pickup. So what we're going to do, you notice I got an I-beam here. I had a piece of aluminum I-beam out in the pasture. I cut it down so it would fit between the bed here. I'm going to use that as my straight edge. I'm going to get clamps and clamp the whole back of the bed to this I-beam and make sure it's straight. I'm going to make some new metal where this is rusted out. All right, so probably going to cut it, let's see, yeah, that's still pretty good metal. So probably going to cut it across here and just rebuild this section here so that I can get this brace shoved back up in there and get it into position. Then I've got a piece of 1/8 inch, which looks like what this is 1/8 inch steel. It's actually thicker than what I thought it was. It's damn sure thicker than where the hinges go. So I'm going to get another piece of 1/8 inch, and I'm going to cut it to go from about right there to about right there. And that way I'll have one piece across the back. And I won't have, at this point, I'm not making allowance for the bumper. I don't know if my young son wants a bumper on it or not. If he wants it, we'll cut it out and we'll put the bumper on it. If you look at it, let's see. Let's get it back on this side. So that piece went there. The piece I intend on making is just this flat section, and then we'll come back in with another section that's bent sort of like this. And then we'll come up with another section that turns out to be bent, like this. So if you watch Fitzy Fabrications, this is kind of the way he builds stuff. I don't have a bender that will bend this 1/8 inch stuff, so we're going to have to build it piece at a time. All right, let me get some of this stuff cleaned up. Let me go find some metal, and I'll get back to you when I kind of got this thing laid out and show you how it's going to go together. All right, I'll get back to you. Okay, I think I'm back. Let's have a look at where we're at right now. So I cut off the rusty piece of the corner brace and I welded on another. I put rust converter on it, ground it down, and painted black. That thing goes up in here. Alright, that thing goes up in there. You can see at this point, I've just built up to this point where the curve is. Again, I can't bend the thing, so I'm going to cut a small piece that goes from here to here and roll the edge just a little bit and take it all the way across. Probably going to take it across to over here. Get that welded in. I've got an I-beam clamped on there that hopefully is keeping the thing straight. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and weld in this corner brace right here and try to stiffen up this corner because I really need this I-beam out of the way so that I can build this top section that goes underneath here. So let me get the welder out and get things cleaned up, get it clamped up, and let me see if I can weld this up, and I'll get back. Well, it looks like we got an 1/8 of an inch drop here, and that matches what's down there. You know what? I think we're going to call that good enough. Been better if it was straight all the way across, but that ain't the way it turned out. All right, we're going to see if we can make this patch that goes up here and this patch that goes down here, and see if we can finally get this thing welded together. I'll get back with you guys. I couldn't help myself, guys. I worked a little bit more on getting this 1/8 of an inch out where it was high here on both ends. As it turns out, there was a little bump above the bed mount. You know, over time, I guess it had migrated up. Anyway, I massaged it a little bit with a hammer on each one of the bed mounts, just to kind of bring the just to kind of bring it back down. Now, if we look at it, there we go. Got it pretty good there. I've got it pretty good there. That looks a lot better. So I'm happy with that. Now I'm gonna see if I can cut out the metal for the top. I think I'm gonna do the top first and then come back and fill in this vertical section, or you know, this section here. So let me go find some more metal and we'll see what we can do. I'll get back with you. Well folks, I've got it welded up there. It's going to need a lot more grinding and some touch up on the welding, but it looks like it's pretty straight. Let's put the straight edge up there. Yeah, I got a little bit of a belly right here, but that's not bad. It's touching down here, it's touching right there, and down on the other end. Yeah, we're good there. Other than this little belly right here, I think it looks pretty good. And like I said, I've got some more. I'm gonna have to touch up the welds. This is one of the reasons why this thing was a problem. There's a bracket behind here that helps keep this bottom panel from bowing. Didn't realize that. So when I got up underneath it and I started cutting everything out and fitting everything back in, this panel was out about an inch. So that allowed this, if you think about it, if this bottom panel bows, that gives room for this corner to go down. So right now I just drilled some holes randomly. All right, obviously they're not straight, but I drilled some holes in there. I put some 1/4-20s on this side, and I put some 1/4-20s on that side. So that's got the bottom panel flat against the back of the truck, which helped out a lot to stiffen it up. So I think I'm going to call this a video right here. And I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell, notifications, and I'll do all that stuff. Until next time. I never anticipated we're going to do 3 videos on this stinking tailgate, but next video will be me putting the tailgate back on and trying to finish that thing up and get it mounted. All right, see you next time.